Hi, this is Craig, and welcome to another episode of Cruising Off Duty. This episode is going to be the update episode of what happened to my Mavic when it comes to DJI support. Did they help me? Did they not? I know a lot of people in the comments on episode 38 and 39, most were saying, yeah, definitely clearly after episode 39, it was a malfunction hardware-wise, probably the battery. Other people were saying you fly below zero and that's not part of the specified temperature range that DJI suggests, which is anything between 0 degrees Celsius and 40 degrees Celsius. True, that day was slightly below that. But as many people who fly Mavics have said, we all fly a lot lower than that without any issue at all. The odd commenter said, well, you take your chances when you fly below zero, so it's on you. So there was that debate. Will they help me? Won't they help me? Well, after a lot of back and forth, and I mean a lot of back and forth, they finally sent me an email 2 days ago saying that they confirmed that it was a hardware error after looking at the data, and they will be sending me another Mavic. Yay. And then a day went by and I didn't hear anything. And then today I was starting to get concerned. And then I got another email saying, we got your Mavic back at the service depot and we've analyzed it. And I'm thinking, they even talking to the right person? Because I didn't send my Mavic back. So I was starting to get a little worried again that maybe they confused me with someone else. But I got a phone call about an hour and a half ago from DJI. They didn't think they actually phoned people. I thought they only ever dealt with us by email. But he definitely confirmed they are sending me another Mavic. It'll be obviously just the Mavic without the controller since I still have my controller. So that's great. That's all I expected. I know there was an ND filter on my Mavic and I know there was landing gear on my Mavic, but I'm just happy to get a Mavic back. So let's just learn from this. I learned no time am I ever going over open water, even if it's a tiny little slit of open water like this was. Just don't do it if you're in cold. B, if you have an issue like me where it's a flyaway into water or somewhere where you don't get your drone back, be prepared for a lot of headaches. Just because every email I received from DJI, it felt like Groundhog Day. It was, you'd talk to somebody from DJI support or email or online chat with DJI support and it seemed like they understood everything. They say we put it in your file, everything's gonna get taken care of. And then you don't hear anything for a couple of days. So you contact DJI support again and you get told, please submit the following information. Please send us your flight logs. Please send us your this. Please send us your that. And you're like, what? Are you looking at my case? Because my case already has all that stuff. And then you'd have to send them an email saying, I already sent you that. What's going on? Blah, blah, blah. And they go, what's your file number? And you give them a file number. But every time you talk to DJI support, the person gives you a different reference number. So you're not sure after a while, which reference number am I even supposed to be quoting here? So what do I learn? Probably next time, especially if you're American, they have a California phone number for DJI support. Probably what I would do if I was doing this all over again is I would just skip the whole email thing. Every time you email them, it's like you're talking to them for the very first time. And it's just ridiculous how many times you get emails back that sounds like you're starting all over again. Talking to somebody on the phone might have been the quicker and maybe more efficient way to deal with this. But I'm giving credit to DJI where it's deserved. They did finally look into my matter. They looked at my flight logs. They looked at my footage that I got from the camera and they confirmed that it definitely was some sort of hardware glitch or malfunction that caused it to lose power and go down right into water. Literally probably 12 feet wide of water, and that's where my Mavic goes down. So bad timing and luck on my part. Had it landed on the snow, this probably would have been a non-event. It would have maybe broken a prop or something. I probably would have just fixed it and just said, oh, well, freak things happen. It is a piece of electronics. I understand that. I do not expect the Mavic, which has a gajillion moving electronic parts in there. It's really a testament to the technology that they've put out. But let's face it, with that many things having to talk to each other and all those sensors talking to the CPU and everything all the time, all it takes is one component to go haywire for a few seconds and the whole thing can come apart, so to speak. So I don't expect it to be perfect. All I wanted was DJI to own up that if there was a malfunction and it went down out of my control, that they would cover it under warranty. And they did. It just took a while. So that's the good news. The bad news is they're just telling me on today, and it is the 10th in the afternoon, that they're sending one. Highly unlikely that they're sending me one in time for me to leave on my trip on the 21st. So a lot of people have been asking, is Rich still going to offer you his Mavic that he offered you in episode 38? And unexpectedly to me, I think you can see the shock on my face, when I'm mortified that I'm not gonna have my Mavic for my BVI trip, which is the whole reason I bought the Mavic in the first place, he quickly just said, hey, you can borrow mine. And I went, really? Like, I start laughing. It's so funny because I'm like, this guy just met me He's gonna loan me his Mavic, which is like the hardest drone in the world to get. Okay, great. But like you say, people were wondering if it was still offered, and if not, I had actually other people on in my commenters saying that I live near Ottawa and I also have a Mavic, so if for whatever reason that offer falls through, you can borrow mine. And that's just, great feeling to know that people are willing to support me that way to make sure I don't completely miss out on this trip having a drone. I have that drone back there, my Q500. That is an awesome drone, and if you look at any of my sailing videos, they were all done by that drone. And I think in a way that's why I was so confident flying over water. I flew all last summer non-stop over the water with that drone, and it never once glitched out on me, never once lost power, did anything like that. So I think over time I've just gotten so confident in my abilities to fly, never even thought about the possibility that a drone would just all of a sudden go down. That's probably why. And if you really think of something funny, go back to episode 24. It's probably my top viewed video. I think it has 80 or 90,000 views. It's when I first got the Mavic and I do a distance test and I fly from the shore of the Ottawa River out 15,000 feet to a bridge on the other side and back again. So 30,000, I think I ended up doing a total of 33,000 feet of total flight, almost exclusively over water on my second day of owning the Mavic. So now that I've had this happen to me, I look back at that and go, wow. How lucky was I that I made it back without it going down? And how mortified would I have been if on my very second day of owning the Mavic, it just all of a sudden goes into the water. I would have been even more mortified than I was on episode 38 when it went down. So yeah, I'm gonna be a lot more careful. Two things I'm gonna look into getting, and I've contacted a couple of companies. One is a company that makes a product called Getterback. It's this little tube that you Velcro to your, what's supposed to be to a fishing rod, but you can Velcro it to your Mavic. You put it on the leg underneath, and if it goes in the water, this little tube senses the water and fires off this little bobber that will float to the surface, and it's connected by fishing line, 100 feet worth of fishing line, so that if you get the bobber at the surface, you can pull up your drone, in this case, my Mavic, and at least retrieve it. And I am getting DJI Refresh now that I have that sort of technology in mind, because my concern before and why I didn't get DJI Refresh was I know from my experience last summer with that drone, I fly over water. And the DJI Refresh clearly says you have to return your drone in order to get another drone. So you're paying for insurance on the stipulation that you always have to return your drone first. And I thought, well, why would I pay for insurance on something that if I do crash my drone, it's probably going to be over water? I never thought the drone would just stop working over water. I thought, I might accidentally clip a mast of my boat, or I'm trying to hand catch it and it slips out of my hand and falls into the water. And I thought, I'm never gonna get that back. So why would I pay for insurance if I can't actually send my drone back? This last episode, where completely out of my control, I'm hovering and it just starts to go down in the water, has definitely made me think, I think I need to have this insurance. And now that I have a thing like Getterback or some other technologies that are out there that will allow your drone to at least float on the surface so you can retrieve it. Yeah, I'll be getting something like that for this summer when I'm on the sailboat. And if it goes in the water, I'll have DJI Refresh. I will just ship them back a waterlogged Mavic and I will get one back. And I did confirm with DJI that sending back a water damaged Mavic still qualifies under DJI Refresh, and yes, it does. So whether it's a malfunction because of the drone or whether it's human error, it'll be covered as long as you can get it back. That's a lesson to all of us. Get DJI Refresh, yes, but also get something that makes the drone float on the surface. Even if it's ruined, as long as you can get it back, you will be able to get your DJI Refresh new Mavic. So there we go. Little peace of mind for all of us. Hope you're as happy as I am to hear that I will get a Mavic back, and that it might actually come before my BVI trip. Even if it doesn't, I've got Rich's Mavic to go with, so I will give you some awesome footage of a 10-day trip to the BVI. My first 3 or 4 days are actually a scuba certificate course. So I'm gonna get my scuba certificate with my wife. We're gonna do that for the first 4 days, then we're meeting these other two couples. We're getting on a boat in Tortola, chartering that boat while we're sailing it around for a week in the BVIs. And I plan to obviously get lots of drone videography. Obviously, because I'm borrowing somebody's drone, I will not be flying off of my boat and landing on my boat. I will be going to shore and landing and taking off from shore and maybe pointing at the water from shore. But I certainly won't be flying Rich's Mavic over top of water. I can't even imagine the stress I would be under if I did that. So be assured, no flying over water. I plan to do one more episode before I go, showing you all of my camera equipment, my computer equipment that I use to edit my videos, which is my MacBook, which is right here. And I'll talk about the software I use, the camera equipment I use, and of all my camera equipment, what's my most important camera equipment to go with me on this trip? Obviously, I can't bring every lens and everything I own, just way too much gear to bring along with me, but I will be bringing my Mavic, or a Mavic. I will be bringing my GH4, I will be bringing my G7X, and I will be bringing my Hero 5 Black. And then the next episodes after that will probably be all back-to-back BVI trip stuff. Subscribe so you don't miss an episode. If you found this entertaining or more likely educational about how not to lose your Mavic and what to do if you do, give it a thumbs up. And that's pretty much it. So until the next episode, this is Craig signing off saying, safe cruising.